Hello, excellent to see you. What have you got for me? I look forward to our next discussion.
is exactly the impression we don't want to give.
Please, Jamal. Don't you see how all this works in our favor? It's not up for discussion. I won't risk what we've worked so hard to achieve. It's done.
No, you'd risk our future and reputation as a house. But you are the chosen elder.
Don't patronize me. The Great Serpent spared our house. We are favored here. And shouldn't you get back to the council? We can't afford to be absent at a time like this.
I guarantee I'm not missing much. But you're right. I'll be heading back soon enough. Yes?
Okeem is lucky to be made dust. Death was too merciful a punishment. So, Akris has sent our newest diviner to inquire about Sahima. Don't worry, Jamal's already told me all about you. I'm Razma, Elder of House Ka'dic and head of the Ministry of Conjunction. The Ministry of Conjunction is one of the 3 government branches of our society. We deal in information to ensure the High Council can make educated decisions. Most of our work is highly classified. Even the High Council itself may not be aware of all that we're involved in. House Ka'dic is one of the 3 noble houses under House Varun. We've a reputation on being the more moderate of the 3. Not as fervent as House Vithal, and not as passive as House Dul'kelf. We're also largely associated with the Ministry of Conjunction, since I lead the department. Well, it's also an honor to meet one as interesting as yourself. I wouldn't have suspected an outsider to be made promised. But who am I to argue with the Great Serpent's choice? I understand, and I can't argue the importance. I know the Council is looking to Sahima for answers, but the truth is, she's been taken, along with other members of the House. They're being held hostage by zealots, and now they're demanding negotiations.
This is a major overreach. I have never known the zealots to be so bold.
All must serve. Since you exposed Okeem, we'll be reviewing our policy for new House members. As I was saying, I wouldn't have suspected an outsider to be made promised. But who am I to argue with the Great Serpent's choice? I understand, and I can't argue the importance. I know the Council is looking to Sahima for answers, but the truth is, she's been taken, along with other members of the House. They're being held hostage by zealots, and now they're demanding negotiations.
This is a major overreach. I have never known the zealots to be so bold.
The zealots have yet to name specifics. At best, they'll demand an inordinate amount of credits or firearms. Worst case, a seat at the High Council, or even the reinstatement of their house. House Maleen. They know we can't risk Sahima for Dazra's sake. So, they won't hold back when it comes to demands. They had a house. House Maline was abandoned a long time ago, but there are some who'd want to see it reinstated. House Maline was fully dedicated to Jandar Varun. They objected when his brother, Jarek, was chosen to take over as leader. They knew he would bring an end to the Serpent's Crusade. It's why they abandoned their house and became the zealots you know today, to continue what they believe is Jinan and Jandar's work. Jinan Varun had twin sons, Jarek and Jandar. Jandar fully supported the Serpent's Crusade, and to many in House Maline, was the best suited to take over for his father. Aha. My thoughts exactly. Normally I'd have agents doing everything possible to find them. But we too suffered losses. We need to be here. Present. I couldn't risk more lives. It's the only reason I even agreed to these negotiations. But now that you're here, I can finally take action. Of course. But the negotiations offered a chance to get Sahima and the others back without putting lives at risk. I saw the chance and had to take it. As demanding as I'd expected the Zealots to be, I fully intended to do everything in my power to bring them within reason. And that's where the issue lies. I don't know where the Zealots are keeping Sahima, but I have a good idea who does. Their name is Merrick. Merrick is a Ka'dic, and they also work for me as an agent in the Ministry of Conjunction. This is where matters get complicated. As I said, Merrick works for me in the Ministry of Conjunction. They've been establishing an inside relationship with the Zealots for some time now, on my orders. Forcing them to give up the information could jeopardize all they've worked for. So don't expect them to be forthcoming. Get the information any way you see fit, as long as no physical harm comes to them.
Understood.
Merrick is proud of what they've accomplished, so I doubt they'll give up information easily. If being persuasive isn't your strong suit, perhaps appealing to their substantial ego may help. If you can stomach it. Just don't be direct. I'm sure it would put them on the defensive. Either that, or make them completely unwilling to talk. What better way to surveil a threat? It's important for us to know what the Zealots may be targeting, to stay one step ahead. The people of Dazra look to us elders for strength and guidance. We cannot fail them at a time like this. Don't let my composure fool you, promised? It's neither easy, nor something I take lightly. The Zealots don't trust easily. If their location was discovered, Merrick would most likely be the first they'd suspect. They'd never trust them or any agent of House Ka'dic again. See that you do. You'll find Merrick upstairs in the meditation room. Hopefully, Merrick will be forthcoming. What would you like to know? As you know, the Zealots are extremists. Whatever desire you know our people to have to make contact with the Great Serpent, it's tenfold where the Zealots are concerned. After the Cataclysm, it wouldn't take long for them to find out what we were doing, and how Sahima may be the key to fixing it. Sahima was once part of a science team that worked directly with Anaska. But, being young, they didn't want to listen to her theories, or, more importantly, her warnings. Sahima's theories may now be the key to reaching the Scaled Citadel, or maybe even restoring Dazra. Sahima is a brilliant mind, who's always been a bit on the outskirts of the family. She can be a bit temperamental, but it's mostly due to people misjudging her capabilities. Otherwise, she's kind, yet ambitious. Good. If you have further questions, let me know. If you feel it will help. Normally, no one would. But our people are in a state of mourning. I couldn't afford to risk lives when there may have been a peaceful way out. Hopefully, you'll be able to find the hostages, steering these negotiations in our favor. A seat at the table, justice for Jandar, the reinstatement of House Malene. Any number of unreasonable demands that my house would be incapable of fulfilling on our own. It all comes down to power. The Zealots have leverage for the first time, and they intend to abuse it. Because it's my duty as head of the Ministry of Conjunction, having insider information on the Zealots is vital to Dazra's safety. Good. If you have further questions, let me know. Of course. Merrick is a young and upcoming agent within the Ministry of Conjunction. They moved up quickly, and because of this, along with their rather spoiled upbringing, Merrick's biggest weakness is their ego. Let's just say, compliments can get you anywhere. You can find them upstairs, in the meditation area. Normally, I don't condone business of any sort there, but this is an exception. Merrick is proving to be an excellent addition to the Ministry of Conjunction. Not only are they a great agent, but their grasp on house politics is remarkable for such a young age. If only they could humble themselves a bit, they'd be a perfect fit for High Council mediary, or even House Elder. Good. If you have further questions, let me know. Great Serpent keep you.
You're no member of House Ka'dic. What are you doing here? And you are? My help? Oh, wait. You're that heretic turned promised. So, tell me, what would a chosen one such as yourself want with someone like me? Perhaps you need to lay off the koza, my friend. You're talking nonsense. Absolutely ridiculous. So much for confidentiality. I guess this means the High Council is still asking Auntie Razma where Sahima is. And if you're here making demands, she obviously has decided to make use of you rather than undergo sincere negotiations. I see what's going on here. Well, I am one of the few to garner any amount of trust with the Zealots, so she should be. I can't imagine where the Ministry of Conjunction would be without me. I do have a natural talent. It's nice to see I'm being properly recognized. I may excel in my skills, but it doesn't mean the hours I put in are any less. Exactly. There's still research, analysis, documentation. Too much documentation, if you ask me. But altogether, I have the exact talents needed to do this job, which is why I was entrusted with the Zealots in the first place. I admit it hasn't always been easy. They are Zealots, you know. You have no idea. I can't even tell you how much time and effort it's been to sway the Zealots my way. Not to mention the stress over my own personal well-being. I may be the best at what I do, but I'm not stupid. The Zealots do have the element of unpredictability. I was wondering when your own agenda would come into play. I've worked hard to obtain my position with the Zealots. And like I've told Razma 1,000 times, I have no reason to believe they're going to hurt my dear cousins, especially Sahima. So, as far as I'm concerned, that information stays with me. As much as I'd like to help you, I don't think so. True, given the circumstances, a bit more caution may be needed here. Yes, it's something I have considered. If anything, they are unpredictable. Point taken. All right, I'll let you in on their location. But remember, you're the only one that knows. If word spreads, I'll know exactly who's to blame. The location you're looking for is Shadow Station Epsilon. It's an old Varun base that they've taken over for themselves. Rosma will know it. Let her tell you the details, seeing as how I'm about to be reassigned. It better. Do your job well, and hopefully I'll still have one to go back to. Sympathetic to the Zealot cause? No. But sympathetic to the people? Yes. I don't deny the Zealots are violent religious extremists. But that doesn't mean they are heartless, emotionless killers. They have families, and people they care for just like us. I see them as strongly misguided individuals that need help. That's just it. When I'm with them, it's like associating with anyone here in Dazra. They aren't the mindless fanatics people make them out to be. Granted, you have to get them to warm up to you first. But after that, it's just like having a friend in House Vithal. Serpent guide you.
Something I can do for you?
I can't believe this is happening. You must have gotten the location. I figured they wouldn't be completely forthcoming. If my intel is correct, you can find Shadow Station Epsilon in the Badlands, north of Dazra. I can send you the coordinates. Shadow Station Epsilon is one of many Zealot bases scattered throughout. As I mentioned before, I wasn't willing to risk agent lives in order to scout them all. Epsilon was once a research station, with a focus on grav drive manipulation. The Zealots have since vastly expanded upon it. But it makes sense if they intend to use Sahima to their advantage. The Shadow Stations were established during the Serpent's Crusade. A series of secret military installations that few knew about, and even fewer may remember. The idea was to have isolated centers focused on different aspects of furthering the Crusade. This way, if one fell, it wouldn't endanger the others. The sooner the better.
We will do whatever is necessary to bring Sahima and the others back safely.
Now that we have a rescue mission underway, I'll speak to Merrick about setting up the negotiations. I expect them to be pliable after their last encounter with you. The current plan is to hold them at one of the geothermal power stations. Meet us there when Sahima and the others are safe. It's a fairly neutral location, and just the right distance from Dazra, so both parties will feel safe. The geothermal stations are also autonomous in nature, so we don't have to worry about unwanted eyes and ears. If memory serves, it's southeast of Shadow Station Epsilon. It shouldn't be too hard to find. Good. Serpent willing. Your timing will line up. I'll stall the Zealots as long as I can, which shouldn't be an issue. That being said, I'd still appreciate it if you could act quickly. Now, Jamal wants an update before you leave. Just don't let her distract you for too long. Merrick will be relieved. Until next time.
Diviner, a word before you go? Tell me, Diviner, what do you know about the Zealots? I'm impressed. You've already learned quite a bit from your time with us. The Zealots are widely frowned upon within our society. They're a remnant of the Serpent's Crusade, days we'd like to forget. Has my dear sister given you any history on our house's relations with the Zealots? I'm surprised she even mentioned that much. Razma would have everyone believe she only wishes to keep an eye on the Zealots, so the Council can make informed decisions. The truth is, she's had this particular group of Zealots under her thumb for quite some time. This is only a problem now because she's lost control. That is the real reason why Razma hasn't informed the High Council, and I'm sworn to silence.
I would argue that what you describe would be considered treason. And rightly so.
Yes, I'll get to that momentarily. House Ka'dic already has a reputation for being sympathetic to the Zealots, but the truth is far worse. Razma wants the Zealots to back House Ka'dic, so the balance of power between the noble houses would shift to us. She's been employing them, paying them in supplies that aid their blind crusade. There are several members who are sympathetic toward them or their cause. Some see beyond their extremist veneer and believe they're just misguided. A very small few may believe Jandar truly was the rightful heir, but none would ever admit it. I'm certain it's the case that members of the other houses feel the same. House Ka'dic is just the only one who's been exposed for it. Razma would believe they want to reintegrate or even reestablish House Maleen, and she's a fool for it. The Zealots want nothing but the means to carry out their war. Credits, weapons, and ships. And these very supplies would be used to harm not only your people, but our own as well. The Council knows nothing of her work with the Zealots, and I aim to keep it that way. All elders have their own ambitions. I'm certain that's all they see. What none of us expected was the disaster that is the Scaled Citadel. The aftermath is what allowed the Zealots to grab Sahima and the others, flipping the balance of power in their favor. Razma has lost control and is putting House Ka'dic's reputation and power at risk. And that's what I wish to speak to you about. House Ka'dic shouldn't be associating with zealots at all, except on an extermination level. But worse, we absolutely cannot be supplying them with ordnance of any kind. We need to cut ties with the zealots altogether. Exposing this information to the council would condemn not only Rasma, but House Ka'dic along with her. I have no wish to tarnish our house or ruin my sister. I simply want to show her the error of her ways. Far from it. I want you to put an end to any connections between House Ka'dic and the Zealots. And while my position won't allow me to be blunt, I'll still make it clear. Should the hostages not survive, Rasma would blame the Zealots and cut all ties.
House Ka'dic would go to any lengths, it seems.
What we need is Sahima's research, which she has with her. You just need to bring it back. Think about it if you must, but if you care about your people, you'll come to the same conclusion as I have. And when you do, just know that we can't afford any loose ends. No witnesses. As far as everyone else is concerned, the hostages were dead when you arrived, and you exacted revenge in House Ka'dic's name. The settled systems, of course. They're the Zealots' #1 target with more victims every day. Of course not. But in this situation, it is the most effective means to an end. As a mediary, I am constantly weighing decisions based on both immediate and long-term consequences. This decision is awful, I know that. But the far-reaching consequences are worth the sacrifice. Zealots are unpredictable, and their passion to their cause often makes them prone to violence. Whether the Zealots believe it or not matters little, but Rasma certainly will. I trust you'll make the right decision. Until then, I'll see you at the negotiations.
I always enjoy these moments.
Good to see you. I wish it were the case. This is an ongoing point of contention with my sister, and it never changes. Rasma and I come to agreement, something happens that makes her reconsider, and we're right back where we started. This is why extreme measures are necessary. Only something truly horrible will force her eyes to remain open. I was on a walk, nearing Jinan Plaza. My view of the Citadel was clear. I saw the windows flood with light and then a flash so bright, I was forced to turn away. When I turned back, my eyes saw only a swirl of energy surrounding the Citadel and the crater that surrounded it. Rasma and I are normally quite agreeable. We've always been like-minded ever since we were young. It's the reason we were groomed for the positions we currently hold. The Zealots are what divide us, much like they divide our house as a whole. I remember it well. Zealots attacked a Highlands growth farm. A weapon left behind was one used in payment for a recent operation. Rasma could accept it as collateral damage. I could not. An innocent family died that day. And it opened my eyes to the greater consequences of working with Zealots. Many within the Ministry of Conjunction are aware of the division. They wouldn't be good envoys otherwise. Yes, it does affect them. When you aren't united, the cracks begin to show. The dissidence grows. Rumors begin to circulate and trust is called into question. Our envoys should know better. But that's how we ended up with the current narrative that House Ka'dic is sympathetic toward the Zealots. We use similar tactics to navigate the complex waters of Va'ruun society. But most importantly, we share the same ideologies when it comes to House Ka'dic and the people of Dazra. There is no progress without change, and Dazra stagnates in old tradition. Perhaps your arrival in the Scaled Citadel incident, awful as it was, will serve as a catalyst to finally advance our society. What do you want to know? The oversimplified answer is yes. The two may be synonymous, but house politics will always take precedent. House Ka'dic is a symbol, a noble house, and its members are held to a higher standard with greater responsibility. Diviner.
Don't let Jamal distract you too long. I need you to act quickly. Serpent's luck be with you, Diviner. Serpent guide you. Don't let Jamal distract you too long. So that's what Jamal wanted to speak with you about. If you're insinuating that I care more for power than my own family, you are sadly mistaken. The safety of this house and its people are of utmost priority to me. To be fair, I won't deny that, yes, I would like to see House Ka'dic become the new Va'ruun. But show me an elder who thinks differently. Hostile or not, they are an effective means to an end, and often the perfect cover as well. We are limited here by our secrecy, but the Zealots are not. For the most part, they're not only our last resort, they're our only resort. Because I see it as a semblance of control. Due to our work at the Ministry of Conjunction, we know what they have, and what they intend to do with it. This odd relationship keeps our people safe, and gives the Zealots a level of dependency on us. Something we use to our advantage. All must serve.
Yes? May the Great Serpent bless you. Great Serpent keep you.
Diviner.
I also wish to be prepared for any situation, but there are practical limits, no? A credit for your thoughts, as they say. We will speak again soon, I hope. Velocity! Perfect execution! You have a knack for these vehicular gymnastics. Mind your surroundings. Even the plants here can be dangerous. I appreciate you taking the wheel. Best not to leave anything useful behind. Hello, excellent to see you. I'll be here when you need me.
try. Attack was definitely.
Here to help. That zealot had a key. You have to get me out of here. Who are you? Serpent's Grace, I knew it! I knew she wouldn't just leave us here to rot. It's more than just me. There are others. The Zealots have been using them to force me to continue my research here. They think I have all the answers since the original experiment was a catastrophic failure. The original experiment. The one that took out half of Dazra and sealed off the Scaled Citadel. Surely you must know. I'm sorry. I realize the elders and council members may not be properly disseminating this information. I'm not one for politics, obviously. Well, the Zealots think they are forcing me to continue my research here. They want me to apply my theories to Anasco's Scaled Citadel debacle. Somehow they ascertained my previous involvement. Are you saying my theory is correct? I knew it! I told them their algorithms and insufficient testing were only giving the illusion of stability. But no one wants to listen to me. Not the girl who put people twice my age to shame when it came to assessments. Of course, this is what it would take for Razma to send someone after me. Negotiations? Oh, right. I'd almost forgotten. I overheard the Zealots mention negotiating with House Ka'dic, so the motivations are clear. Not only does the High Council deem me important, but Razba needs to remove me from the equation. I get it. But at least now everyone knows I was right. With pleasure, but I won't leave without the others. The Zealots aren't aware of how I've been delving into their systems here. I told them I needed full access if they expect me to replicate Anasco's experiment, and I didn't even bother with risk assessment. They think I'm applying my theories to their poor excuse for technology down here. Granted, I could probably make it work if I had to. Well, yes and no. The other hostages are being kept just beyond this room. I can disengage the locks to their cell and grant you access to an elevator in the room beyond that will take them to safety. You just have to clear out that area first, and the Zealots down there are... different. The Zealots you'll encounter beyond here are... altered somehow. To be made thus would be to show them the Great Serpent's mercy. Some may, but keep in mind that we are scientists. Many of them have never seen true combat and are no longer proficient with weapons. But some, like me, may still be capable. Just don't expect much of them. Oh, I'm not going anywhere yet. While you get the rescue underway, I'm going to set up certain guarantees here. I'll meet you and the others outside. The Zealots have a small network here that I can plug into. They think I've been working on my research, when really, I've been formulating a virus that will shut down this entire base. And their ships. I'm more than capable of handling myself. Besides, the Zealots think they need me, so my life isn't in danger. If I'm not out there when you free the hostages, just come back for me. And a well-thought-out one at that. I just need enough time to set up a remote device so I can launch a virus that will render this place useless. Think of it as a failsafe to guarantee our safety. The Zealots would never risk this base or their ships. These are Zealots we're dealing with. The only reason they even have hostages is to make sure I stay in line. I couldn't threaten them without knowing the others were safe. No way. It's probable that we'll make it, and when we do, I'm handing this over to a familiar face. No offense. Now move it. You've got hostages to free. This shouldn't take long. Just get to the others and I'll see you outside. They're dangerous. I've only caught glimpses of them and hacked into a few messages regarding them, so I don't know much myself. They've been altered somehow. Cybernetics? Mental and physical conditioning? I couldn't say without examining one for myself. I'm not exaggerating when I say they'd be better off made dust. They think I'm the key to opening the gateway to the Great Serpent. For them, it's both a race against House Va'ruun, and also proof that they were right, that Jandar was Genon's rightful heir. Luckily, none of them are scientifically minded enough to know I spent all my time delving into their systems and developing a virus. I may have the Ka'dic name, but I've never felt like a true part of the family. House Ka'dic prefers agents and envoys for the Ministry of Conjunction. Scientists take a back seat. Without all this drama, I'd be willing to bet she couldn't even remember my name. This virus I've been working on will overload every major system within Epsilon. Not only that, but any ships that they worked on here within the past few days will get hit as well, as long as they're within range. serpent be merciful? Has help finally arrived?
Who are you?
Are you here to help?
You aren't a zealot. Who are you? Thank the serpent. So that means she's safe? We haven't been able to observe much. They are physically superior, stronger, faster. They ignore pain and are resistant to things that would take any normal person down in an instant. I'm not sure what the Zealots have done to create them, but I would surmise the process was less than pleasant. If only there were more of us down in the caves. I wish it were that easy. The Zealots separated us. Our brethren are still out there. Please, I can ready my people here, but you'll have to deal with the Zealots and rescue the others so we may all escape safely. Another Redeemed is stationed down there, along with a few other Zealots and a Model S. Be careful. We'll be ready.
I would do anything to sleep in my own bed again.
I pray our cousins are unharmed.
I have faith in you.
Please. Just get us out of here.
Serpent guide you.
If only I could fight alongside you.
Our sins must have been considerable for the Great Serpent to subject us to this. Be safe.
Great Serpent, protect me. Serpent, save me. Thank the Serpent. I thought I was done for.
Is this the end? The Great Serpent has heard me. Thank you.
The Great Serpent was truly watching over us.
Ah, a face I never mind seeing. What can I do for you? I will watch your back.
You did it. You got everyone out. You did it! It's true what they say. The air really does smell fresher.
Serpent bless you. We owe you our lives. Thank you.
Now, it's time for you to head back. I'm going to stay back a moment and make sure everyone here is okay to make it back safely. I'll catch up with you shortly. Just let me know where the negotiations are taking place. Of course. I successfully rigged a remote device to shut this whole place down the moment I see a zealot. I just need a moment to make sure everyone is fine. Don't worry. Razma came through for me. It's only fair I return the favor. I'll be there when it counts. Now go.
These members of your house have suffered. I can respect your decision.
I can't thank you enough for saving us. By the Serpent, you did it!
The geothermal power station isn't far from here. I'll be there.
Fine day for a drive, is it not?
Was your intent to be unreasonable the whole time? I thought this was a negotiation.
We're having a friendly chat, aren't we? It's not my fault you don't find my offers acceptable.
Nah, just the person I wanted to see. Please tell me you bring good news. Exactly what I wanted to hear.
Razma, who is this? You allow any commoner to just waltz in on official business. I'd expect better security from House Ka'dic.
This is hardly official business.
Yes. And now these so-called negotiations are over.
Over? You'd risk everything after the whispers of a stranger. I demand to know who this is. You think I care about Anasco Varun, son of a traitor? Only a complete fool would expect me to believe this.
It's true, Mihail. And if you don't leave now, peacefully, I'll make sure your ships and Shadow Station Epsilon are made dust.
You... How did you... You're bluffing.
Test me. You think a genius mind like mine wouldn't find a way to hack into every system in your base? This remote device will launch a virus that will detonate systems within Epsilon, and reach your ships as well.
You realize how this may affect future partnerships, Razma. You'd jeopardize our connections.
It jeopardizes nothing. It merely restores the natural order.
The natural order. I could take you all out here and now. You know every one of us is prepared to answer the Serpent's call.
You're so willing to sacrifice your allies at Shadow Station Epsilon?
You don't think they're as prepared as we are? We all answer the call, and if that day is today, so be it. Let's get this over with.
It was bold, and in no way acceptable or condoned.
Fighting alongside you is never dull.
Something I can do for
Certainly
you?
not the outcome I was expecting. But at least we have what's important. House Ka'dic is in your debt.
As am I. I owe you my life.
Sahima, you are a part of this house.
I know. I just wanted to say thank you. Personally. And here, it's the research and algorithm the High Council wants. I'm sure they'll appreciate it more coming from you. As much as I'd love to gloat, I have enough awareness to know this isn't the time. And I know myself well enough to know that I simply wouldn't hold back. You're welcome. It's been quite the life experience I've had lately. If you have any spare time, maybe come find me later? Great. You can find me at the Great House whenever you get the chance.
We'll talk later, Sahima. As I was saying, House Ka'dic is in your debt. You've helped me maintain a very precarious balance. Is it luck? Or the will of the serpent? Had not so much transpired leading up to your arrival, I may have felt differently. As for what's transpired, I'd appreciate it if you kept this a secret. Good. The others involved know better than to speak of this. As much as it disappoints me, I can't say I'm surprised. Jamal's never cared for our view with the Zealots, and she has no love for those taken. But this is what makes her an excellent mediary. A mediary is another title for a member of the High Council, whose job it is to represent their house when the Elder cannot. My duties are to House Ka'dic and the Ministry of Conjunction. I trust Jamal to properly represent our views at the High Council. You and the rest of our house. Now, I have much to do, and so do you. Ekris and the High Council will be expecting you.
You've served House Ka'dic well today. We have nothing to discuss here. I'll see you back in Dazra. As far as I'm concerned, the High Council does know because I'm on it. Should any topics arise regarding the Zealots, I can guide our decisions appropriately. If the others found out, it would be a very tiresome and lengthy conversation. Although lecture is probably the better word. But I hope you're wise enough to keep our house matters private. Great Serpent keep you.
With the High Council no longer pressuring me, I can turn my complete attention to my people. It won't take long before the Zealots hear of this. They'll posture and protest, but when I need them, they'll come around. The Zealots don't exactly have a reliable supply chain, unless you count preying on others. If you ask me, it's her analytic mind that can't stop dwelling on things that don't matter. I care about all members of House Ka'dic, regardless of how they came to join us. Blood, marriage, adoption, we are all family. I value our great scientific minds, but my focus lies in the Ministry of Conjunction, and I think that's what she's come to dwell on. There's nothing I could say that hasn't already been said. The human mind can develop the strongest beliefs over the smallest observations. Unfortunately, no. The Ministry of Conjunction falls under my authority and demands my full attention. When it comes to noble houses, family and politics are practically synonymous. But I'm familiar with your point of view, and it's easier said than done. A House Elder's responsibilities extend to all the people of Dazra. We can't focus on each individual under our purview. So, we focus on our responsibilities that encompass and protect them all. A different kind of zealot? No, this would be news to me. Something the zealots must be working very hard to cover up. Tell me about them. Huh. Chemically induced? Something more? Either way, it's concerning. I'll make sure the other members of the Ministry are aware of it. We'll want to make sure we're prepared, should we begin to see more of these altered zealots you speak of. All must serve.
It is pleasing to speak with you. A shame that there is not more to discuss.
This device is rather imposing looking, no?
One house aligned, and 2 to go. Ah, were you able to find Sahima? Perfect. I have no doubt Sahima's work is the key to stabilizing the morning device. If only the others had listened to her, we may not have lost so much of our great city. This leaves House Dul'kelf. I pray they are cooperative. There's no telling how much time we have. And before I forget, I've been told to inform you that the Council has now granted you access to the armory in the keep. Seems they're pleased with your work. Only House Dul'kelf remains.
Greetings, Captain.
Eager to help, if I can. I keep whatever you give me, yes? That is the deal? Thank you for the conversation and everything.
have displeased the Great Serpent, so do not agitate him any further.
I pray that the Great Serpent will deliver us from our hardships soon.
Our supplies dwindle by the second. Great Serpent, save us.
I hear justice has been meted out against Ukaru's killer. On behalf of House Dul'kelf, thank you. Diviner, I'm glad to see you. Malibor has kept me informed of the situation. The deadlock of the High Council. I hope your presence here means things have changed. Good. Good. I'm pleased that the Council is once again working towards a solution. It felt wrong not to help. Do you know where I was when it happened? The incident, they call it. I was in the temple next door, conversing with my cousin. I was in the middle of replying to him about... you know? I don't even recall. Some meaningless bit of family drama, I am sure. One moment, he was there, and the next, gone. My cousin, the floor, the wall, just gone. I found myself looking out at the scaled citadel, unable to comprehend. And now, here I stand, the elder of House Dul'kelf. My loss? Yes, I suppose. Although, from an outside perspective, one could consider it a fair trade, given my new role. Perhaps even a gain. Hardly. I was quite comfortable with my position within House Dul'kelf, and fully expected to remain where I was. You cannot imagine it. A single moment of pure, terrible silence. A meter's distance was all that separated me from whatever has become of Dazra. I find that through all the chaos and the scrambling since, my mind drifts back to that moment. I could be gone as well. But here I remain. Spared. And I do not know why. Hopefully you can deliver them from this. But what comes after? What about the next trial? I'm sorry. I should shoulder my own burdens, not force them upon you. I've grown so tired of the Council squabbling, and I want no further part in it. I have no demands, no requests. All must serve, and House Dul'kelf is no exception. The Speaker has always been the guiding light of House Va'ruun. In his absence, it is of no surprise that some would find themselves lost, stumbling in the dark. Here is what I can tell you. Sometime before our current calamity, Enesco Va'ruun approached me looking for information about his grandfather's time. He was frustrated at the lack of progress. House Dul'kelf keeps extensive records, you see. While I was never told the exact reason behind the inquiry, I was able to deduce a fair amount. I provided him with the shipping manifest from the time of the Serpent's crusade. Materials and equipment that suggested some highly specialized research. I told UNESCO where those materials had been sent. Weeks later, well, you've seen the Citadel. You know as well as any where we are now. I believe so. Yes. UNESCO returned from the site in unusually good spirits. He boasted of something called the Vortex Interlock, and that it was the key to unlocking some new unseen potential. Whatever records exist of this interlock were swallowed up with the Citadel. And as for the original site, executors were sent, but did not return. And we can spare no more casualties. So I suggest you visit Malin Dam to the southeast. I believe it is more than it seems. It is the only place to learn more about these vortex interlocks and what connection they may have to the events at the Citadel. And should your search be fruitful, make sure it is known that House Dul'kelf was proud to serve when called upon. I hope you find something useful at the dam. House Malin was once a valued contributor to House Varun. Those contributions are no less valid due to their current actions, though I'm sure some would disagree. No one in Dazra is okay right now. We're all doing the best we can in the face of terrible circumstances. The people of House Varun, those that are left, need our efforts now more than ever. That is my primary concern. I'm afraid the details have been scrubbed from the records at the time of construction. That in itself should be enough to pique anyone's interest. As I said, the records that are left, referring to that construction, I have overseen my share of projects. I know what materials are necessary, and I know when the deliveries far exceed the needs of what should be a simple industrial project. As of very recently, I am the elder. I am ultimately responsible for all of House Dul'kelf, and by association, the Ministry of Commerce. It has been an abrupt transition for me, given all that is going on. I imagine it will be some time before I feel settled in. House Varun depends on trade, internal and external, just like any civilization. The ministry facilitates and oversees that trade. Jinan Varun himself established the houses and charged us with this responsibility. We pride ourselves on a job well done.
What do you require?
Thank you again for helping me with Reagan.
Not everything in the galaxy needs to come with us, you know. Considerable effort went into making at least some portion of this water sanitary.
You can't get in there, not unless you have a card. It's fine. It was built extra strong, and the railings are all sturdy. There aren't any sharp edges. So, you're trying to get in there? You're not the first person to come here recently, you know? Anasko Varun himself was here. I saw him, but he didn't talk to me. And there were too many other people around him. They all looked really serious. Okay, but it wasn't much. I didn't want to get too close. Father says I get in the way too much, and I didn't want to do that. But I did see them go in. They had cards that let them open the door. I found one after they'd left. I thought about using it, but I didn't want to get in trouble. Kavil said I should give it to him for safekeeping. So I did. Maybe he'll let you have it. Okay, good luck. Father says this is all going to be mine someday. I can't tell if he thinks that's a good thing or not. Father says the Great Serpent watches over us all the time. I'm not worried. Besides, no one ever comes around here anymore anyways.
The farm looks different from what I remember as a child.
It is not easy, seeing the Citadel like this. But the best thing we can do is continue our jobs. I would ask for news of the city, but I think I prefer not to know. No offense, but it's not your property.
The ownership of the card is far less important than its use.
Be that as it may, I feel it should be turned over to the proper authorities.
You know that all must serve Ka'dil. Right now, handing over that keycard. That is how you best serve the Great Serpent.
I only wish to serve, I swear. You are right, though. Here, take it. I am not sure I have liked anywhere, to be honest. The work is predictable, not too taxing, and Gamerel lets me get away with less than others might. I could do worse. The aches and pains of old age would follow me no matter where I go. And if I could just get a good night's sleep, I would find all this quite acceptable. Goodness, no. Not a decent night's sleep in years, at least that I can recall. The aforementioned aches and pains at first, but over time I find my dreams drift towards something dark. The product of an anxious mind with too many years. Think nothing of it. Why would you care about the meaningless dreams of an old man? And are you one of them? I have this dream where I am a ghost, haunting long abandoned halls. There are others, and we are trapped for eternity, doomed to roam this corner of the world of the living. I fear I shall never see the Great Serpent. Perhaps it simply means I worry I have not done enough with my life. Perhaps I'm not getting enough vitamins. In comparison to some, hardly any time at all. I stumbled upon this place a few years back, and they were so desperate for help. I offered my services, they accepted, and here we are. I suspect, given my age, that my story will likely end here. At least, until the Great Serpent decides what to do with me after.
If you're here for a meal, hope you like seaweed. I wish more people would move in.
And just what is on your mind at this moment? It is to our advantage if we are alone here. We can focus on investigating and not defending ourselves. There must be some mechanism for draining the floodwaters. That was quite a leap.
Your skill.
Vox is admirable.
Warning. Power fluctuations detected. Rerouting to compensate. Drainage pump control bypassed. not welcome here. You will leave immediately. This is your only warning. I guard these halls with my brothers and sisters, until the shrouding. None are allowed here, including you. I do not care what you think you need. Jinan Baron himself charged us with the protection of this facility. It was his last order, and it will be carried out. And yet, his orders were clear. That he has passed on does not matter. The work done here must be safeguarded, protected, never permitted to leave. None but the Speaker may decide otherwise. And you are not the Speaker.
Did they have anything of value?
Speaker, please, do not get too close. Do not fear. They know who I am. You do, yes? I can see it. You know me. I am Anasco Varun, Speaker for the Great Serpent.
Yes, Speaker. We know. We serve. We have always served.
And your service is commended. Are you all that remain of this place?
Jinan Baron himself bade us guard these halls for all time. Others left. We remain.
Very well. You, get to work. Yes, of course, sir. At once. You heard the Speaker. Every terminal, every data log, every cable and component. I want it all inspected and a full report within the hour.
You were warned. You did not listen. There is not. The Speaker's orders will be carried out. You must die.
Where did you learn to do that? I imagine it was not part of your training as a miner. Let's hope this laboratory has adequate safety protocols. technical equipment here. I cannot make sense of it, but clearly someone could, and did.
Think you would be rid of me so easily? The arrogance!
It would seem this will...
The work done. Sister, you should have heeded.
It would also seem...
The outcome. Your resistance does not... Do you even understand? Your sense of humor will... You should have left when you had...
And you are sure? We need the object itself? Yes, Speaker. These vortex interlocks are complicated devices. We could recreate them from schematics we have recovered, but that would take time.
My brothers and sisters and I, we are bound to the pods. The pods are powered by the interlocks. We move them and you kill us.
Yes, I understand. But you are sworn to serve, are you not?
We are, Speaker. All must serve.
Then what better service than to facilitate contact with the Great Serpent himself? Your sacrifice will bring about a new era for House Va'ruun.
As the Great Serpent wills.
We will begin extraction at once. Then we should have everything we need to upgrade the equipment at the Citadel.
spoils of victory. Hopefully they amount to something.
You have the interlock speaker, and the sum total of the data gathered is on the slates in your possession. Well, then I have all I came for. It is time to leave. You, Phantom. One final order awaits you.
We exist to serve, Speaker.
I know you do. My grandfather insisted this place remain secret. Known only to him. Known only to the Speaker. No one else.
As the Speaker wills it.
Sir, please. Have we not done all that was asked? Oh, you and your team have served well. But your service to me is at an end. Now you shall serve the Great Serpent directly.
Do you not grow weary of this? I assure you, it will not end. You simply do not listen. How disappointing. We cannot be defeated in combat. You are the one with the power to change this, either by turning around or dying.
This is turning into a most exhilarating exercise.
All this noise over one little trespasser. Let us be done with this already.
The experiments here have ensured our resilience. We endure because it has been ordered of us. House Va'ruun's return to greatness begins with the work done here. And until that time comes, we will keep it safe. They are not yours to have. risk overload. Consider manual shutdown at the earliest convenience.
You utter fool! Do you have any idea what you have done? Oh, you are so very clever! More so than Anasco's entourage! Those interlocks power our pods! You have killed Bethesda! What is more, you have disrupted the flow of power within the dam! You are one step from dooming those farmers on the surface! All right, hero. You have proven yourself a commendable opponent. But now, you have a choice to make. If you can remove the remaining interlock, you will have bested us. But you will ruin the lives of those above us. Or we can continue this contest of wills and see which of us is stronger. The choice is yours. But we do. My dedication to the Great Serpent demands my obedience to his Speaker's orders. Power failure. Dam function compromised. Emergency evacuation protocols enacted. Please exit the facility.
House Malin are many things, but rarely liars. I hope we have not made the situation worse. The device looks ready. Let us hope it has not been built too hastily. We need this to work.
My whole life, drowned.
So, the Phantom spoke true. We have done enough here. We should go.
This farm is the only place I have ever known. Now I have nothing.
If this doesn't work, Serpent save us. I am old and my eyesight is not what it used to be, but I know the face of success when I see it. Your lead from House Dul'kelf paid off. I did not, but it does not surprise me. So many projects over the decades. So many secrets. So few successes. I have heard of such a thing. Recently, in fact, just before the accident. That is apparently not a coincidence. We do not need it for the device, but if this accounts for some of the leaps in progress in the Citadel, you may wish to hold on to it. As much as I have devoted my life to science, one cannot deny that there is an occasional spark of the divine. The Great Serpent has use for this. And you, still to come. Your timing is excellent, in fact. I believe we are ready to proceed. Just a few quick preparations. Creating the necessary connections. It is done. Diviner, will you do us the honor? Making several adjustments since we gained access to the power grid. All personnel to stations. Clear the platform.
Activating power grid interlink.
Powering draft drive.
Field projector. Standing by.
Scanning stabilizers.
That's it. Stable.
All stations reporting. Ready to proceed with targeting.
Targeting system engaged.
Cycling down.
Turning 0 point.
Tracking stabilizers.
Shutdown complete.
Clear. Well done, all. Well done. We have done all we can. I am sure the Council is waiting to speak with you. Now that our calculations have been fine-tuned, I am even more confident in our chances of success. It is unfortunate. UNESCO's research team rejected Sahima's theories.
Great work. No falls to you.
We may yet prevail. I was not certain this would work, but it seems the Serpent has blessed us.
You have always lacked faith, Dul'kelf.
One could argue that faith got us into this mess in the first place.
Enough! It is time for action, not bickering.
Agreed. We must secure the Citadel. Send in everyone.
Are you mad? We have no idea how stable this is. No idea what is happening inside. You saw yourself. We barely had a plan for the device. We are lucky to have made it this far.
Time is a luxury we do not have. Committing a large force is impossible. There have been reports of increased Zealot activity, no doubt in response to what we have been doing here.
It would be unwise to leave Dazra even more vulnerable than it already is.
And, to be candid, we have no idea what will happen to anyone entering the Citadel. We must minimize the potential risk. It is only fitting that it should be you.
Really? I do not doubt our newest member's conviction, but...
What else can we do? He is the only one who can communicate with Anasco. Save as much as you can. Save it all, if possible, but... the Speaker must be your priority. Do whatever it takes to bring Anasco back to us.
It will be nothing short of the highest honor. We will not fail.
We will speak again soon, I hope. We place our faith in you. I am aware of the situation. Now is hardly the time. We need to focus on what may yet happen. Not things that have already transpired and cannot be changed. Should we manage to resolve the current situation, the Council will address your concern.
The device, it's reassuring to see what we can accomplish when we collaborate.
Do not waste breath and time talking to us. Find Anasco. We are well aware of how we are perceived by people outside House Va'ruun. What they might inflict upon us, given the chance. So, our survival has required a great deal of effort and planning. Grav jump coordinates are a closely guarded secret, known only to a few. And our agents have infiltrated every government of the settled systems. Data is carefully and quietly scrubbed from their maps. Those who manage to find their way here rarely leave. Were the circumstances different, you would have learned for yourself.